Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about 2024 and 2025. I thought that this would be kind of a nice way to round up the whole year. So 2024 has been a kind of a mixed, interesting bag. I'll say that. At the start of 2024, I set myself some goals, which wasn't a lot. I set myself three goals I would like to accomplish during the year. One which was joining a gym to get more active, and I've done that. I have joined a local gym that was on the way to my previous job, but isn't that far away from where I currently live, so it's not a massive pain in the ass to get there. And I really like going there, not really for the atmosphere, but it's for the accomplishment. You know, you've done something good, you've gone there, you've burned up so many calories, and it's more the accomplishment and yeah, more than anything else, I guess. Number two was find a new job. I was extremely unhappy with my previous job and I wanted to find something else, something different that was something new in a different company that would bring new challenges. And number three, which was the only goal that I didn't accomplish during the year, which was upgrading my phone. I've currently had this phone for several years. If I were to guess, probably about 4 years now. Um, which is fine. It does its job. It works, but I want to upgrade it because it's always talking about, okay, there's something wrong with the battery, and I want to get a phone that's got more memory on it so I can record longer videos, and I don't have to worry about space for a while anyway. So the year started off as it has done many years now, with me working at my previous job. I won't mention what it is. If you know where I worked previously, that's great. But my previous job, I was there for about 10 years and I was extremely unhappy going there. I didn't enjoy going there in the slightest. I suppose the reason why I went there is because it gave me a little bit of money. That was the only reason. I lost my whole interest in what the company did ages ago. And I suppose that's a combination of many things. It was because maybe the bosses um, made us feel like, like we were segregated, like it was the bosses versus us, because the bosses never really and the employees never really came together and worked together. And whenever this did happen, it was about like half an hour, and then it disappeared into their domain. And yeah, um, the boss and also the bosses kind of give us the impression that they felt that they were superior to us. Yes, there were some bosses that were okay and I really liked better than others, but the majority of them gave that impression, whether it was intentional or not. That's the impression that they gave. And every time I went on the bus and the trains to get to work, I didn't enjoy going there, as I said, and it made me question all the time about whether people enjoyed their job, whether they enjoyed going to work. It was a real big thing for me, a real big question on my mind, because when I was on the train, everyone is always on their phones and everyone doesn't say anything, and everyone looks miserable, and it made me question: is this what everyone feels like? I mean, surely somebody's got to like their job. And then one day, while at work, I um, did something. I call it the event that I am not proud of whatsoever. It made me um, be called in to speak to the bosses and about the event, and ultimately it ended up with me resigning from my job. Um, I didn't want to. It was a very traumatic and upsetting time for me, and I felt that resigning from my position was the best thing for me to do. Um, as I said, the event made me feel very embarrassed, very ashamed, I suppose very angry and disappointed within myself, more disappointed. And yeah, it left me with a big gaping, um, yeah, what's gonna come next? Every single day I was on my phone. 90% of the day I was looking for jobs, and then the other 10% I went to the gym and did some gardening. And some days I found loads of jobs, and some days I didn't find any. It was just kind of a mixed bag, but I knew it was something that I had to do in order to move on. But then I did find a job. I went for three, I think it was three interviews. One with a different company, and the last two were with the same company but for different positions. But I ended up getting a cleaning job at a retail shop, and it's a morning work, and yes, it's a pain in the ass to get up out of bed every single morning, early in the morning when it's still dark. But I've got the whole day to myself. The environment is much better. The bosses treat you like a human being, and they even help you out a lot of the time. Um, the hours, yes, they aren't ideal, but I wouldn't have it any other way, and the pay is a lot better. So I don't have to worry about money as much. I still do, but not to the extent that I was with my previous job. Now, I wasn't going to mention this. I believe the event might have actually had a contributing factor to it, a small contributing factor to it. It might have had something to do with the fact that I was still grieving the loss of one of my dear friends who passed away in 2023. And I believe that this event was caused, I don't know how big of an impact, but it might have been a way for me to express my inner anger and frustration about what happened to my friends. And it might have been my way of dealing with it and dealing with all these feelings within me. So 2024 has been a big part of me dealing with what I feel inside about my friend's passing. I felt that it's something that I've had to deal with by myself, and that is fine. I don't want to put all this crap that I've got in my mind or had in my mind onto other people. It wouldn't have been fair at all. But I but right now, I still think that it was unfair for my friend to go through this and for this to happen to my friends. But I've learned to accept it, let the anger go, and to remember the good times, I guess. The best thing that's come out of this job, this new job, is when I was about to start, I said, look, if I get this new job, I am going to become more positive, whether it's at work or not at work. Because when I was at my old job, every time my bosses called me, I was thinking, God, what have I done wrong now? Even though I didn't do anything wrong, that's the way I thought. Because I said this to numerous bosses there, that I said to them that in my mind, if I think about the worst thing I could have possibly done, when they go and talk to me, and it isn't that, then I will be relieved. Yeah, that's not a good way of thinking about it. And also, my little advice to a lot of people is that if you are in a job that you don't like doing, and what I've just talked about resonates with you, then my advice is take a few days off, or a week off, or 2 weeks off. Take the maximum amount of time that you can take from your current job that you aren't happy with. Take that time off, and then when you're at home, don't go anywhere. Just stay at home and go on your laptop, computer, iPad, phone, whatever, and pretend that you haven't got a job, that you are job hunting. Pretend that you are job hunting for a new job. You know, send out your CV to other places for real. Do this for real, and kind of pretend that you are in between jobs and that you are looking for work. The reason why I would recommend that you do this is because it will maybe trigger something in your mind saying, right, my actually current job isn't that bad. You know, there are some things I mean I actually enjoy most of it, but you know, I mean, my actual point is you do not know what you have until it's gone. Um, do I miss my job, my old job? No. There are small aspects of it, mostly the people that I miss, but the job as a whole, no, it can sold off, I guess. And yeah, I've been at the gym. As I said, it's something I enjoy doing, and haven't been there for about 3 months because October I wanted to focus on my videos only with the intention of going back in November and December, but my medical condition, which doesn't happen all the time, it's very rare that ever causes me anything, that actually flared up, and that resulted in me not being able to go. But I'll be going on the 1st of January. Can't wait for that. So what is 2025 going to bring? Well, more or less the same thing that you have been getting from me. Let's talk about goals now. Now, because I didn't get my phone last year, I'm going to make that a goal for 2025 to get a new phone. I'm also going to make it a goal of mine to read the whole Bible for 2025, whether it's in little sections or in one go. I am a Christian. I believe in God, Jesus, heaven and hell. I believe in all of that. I sometimes go to church, but as a Christian, I feel that I need to read the Bible at least once. So that's something I want to say that I have at least done. I also want to focus a lot more on writing my poetry, not necessarily publishing anything, because I know some people are going to be writing down in the comments that they would really like to read my poetry in a book that's something that they would be supporting me or like support me for. Thank you. Um, but right now, I'm just going to be focusing, or next year I'm going to be focusing a lot more on writing a lot more poetry. Um, whether it's ultimately going to end up in a book, that would be nice. But I want to focus more on my poetry to, yeah, because it was something that I really enjoyed doing, and I just haven't had time to do recently because of my positive thinking way. Because I write horror poetry, and when you try to think positive for the rest of the day or the whole day, it's kind of hard to focus on the dark and negative side of life. But yeah, that'd be interesting. And I suppose my last goal, which isn't a whole thing, it's more like a point 0.5 goal. That is, I want to do something or some things that bring me immense joy and happiness. Whether that's a result of the goals I've just mentioned, doing these videos, or all of the above. I want to feel more happiness and joy. Not every single day, because yeah, that'd be irritating. But I have been depressed and down for many years, and I feel that I should be more happy. Now, what am I going to be reading? Now, my channel is going to be exactly the same as it always has been and always will be. I'll be focusing on horror and fantasy, but I do want to read a bit more of sci-fi. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but that's something I want to change next year. I don't have a lot of sci-fi books in my room, so I'll have to see what I've got on my Kindle and in my public library. But I want to uh, read more about that genre, as well as other possible genres that may interest me. Now, I want to focus on finishing up Song of Ice and Fire. It's something that I wanted to do for a long time now, and I want to finish up the main series, and read all the spin-off books, which are Fire and Bloods, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and the Encyclopedia, and anything else I find. I also want to start the first book of Malazan, or however it's said, Gardens of the Moon, because I hear a lot about that book, about how complicated it is, and I want to see what I make of it. I also want to start with the other famous unfinished series by Patrick Rothfuss, The Kingkiller Chronicles. This will probably be easier to do because it's only 3 books long, or 3 big books and 1 small book. And then after that, I will probably go on to the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind, as that's a series that I have been wanting to read for a long time now, as it was a favourite of my dearly departed friend. So I want to read that series and experience it because of that reason. I guess I want to create a new permanent intro for my videos. Every single Halloween, I always make a new intro, um, and it's a something I enjoy doing. And I want to make a new intro that's more interesting to look at rather than my current intro, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just that I want to make my channel and my videos look more professional than they currently are, I guess. I think that's everything that I want to um, mention. I will still be doing giveaways in my on my channel next year. Giveaways are something I enjoy doing, and it's a way for me to show my appreciation to anyone out there that is watching this guy talking about nonsense that he's making up on the spot. So that's my way of showing my appreciation for that and my gratitude. So yeah, I think I've mentioned everything. Um, as I said, 2024 it was a mixed bag. But right now, currently, I am in a much better place, both physically and psychologically. And uh, yeah, I go for walks in my local park as often as I can. Um, there's some other parks around my area which I would very much like to visit. Um, as going for walks brings me a lot of peace when I'm walking around. That has been my video on reflecting on 2024 and looking at 2025. I will still be doing my poetry videos. I want to focus a lot more on my pause series, which I was reading Grim Fairy Tales, and I also want to read a lot more from Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, kind of a interesting time in 2025. I want to do new things and bring back old things which were on my channel. So yeah, all good stuff. Whether I'm going to be doing them all or not, that's for the year to decide. But yeah, that's been my video, guys. If you're still here, haven't you got anything better to do? But yeah, in all seriousness, thank you for staying. If you've stayed for this long, uh, my channel will never ever be super popular. I will never ever be super popular on BookTube, and that is fine. Um, I'm just really grateful for my kind of small community of loyal watchers. I call you that. And it just means a lot to me. It means so much to me. So guys, that's been it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.